All right. So basically, what I do. Oh yes,
To
yes.
make my entrance, man.
I love it. I love it. That's how we roll, man. That's how we start. Fuck yeah.
Okay, I can't see you, but I can hear you.
It's good enough, man. How do they fight with this? This is supposed to be like a warrior thing. You can't see me.
No, this it is a warrior hat, but they used to wear this in the mountains when it was really cold. So it's like their day of beanie, you know.
The cock is speedy.
The Caucasus beanie.
That's a new marketing spin. You have to pivot the title in the US. So just pivot it as a caucus beanie and it'll sell like fire.
Definitely. No, like I bring him back with me from Dagestan, and I've been selling them. So I've been on that.
I love it, man. I love the hustle. Listen, we have known each other for quite a while on social media, but we never got a chance to meet up. We never got a chance to chat like this. But you know, it's not how I imagined it going down, but it's going down, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure. Same. I am too, man. Alhamdulillah. Thank you for having me, man.
It's absolutely my pleasure, dude. And tell me just real quick, like, what are you up to these days? Where are you? Which country you in?
I am in Los Angeles, California now.
Okay.
Back here. Yeah, I've been back since my last trip to from Dagestan.
Nice.
I came back in December. Yeah, I came back in December.
In December. And how long did you stay there?
I was there. I had a client with Rising Glide. We were out there for close to 2 months, a month and a half.
Wow, man, that must be something. We're gonna get all into that good stuff. I definitely, dude. Listen, I'm gonna pick your brain like crazy today. We're gonna talk Shabab talk. This is, and listen, the beauty of this format is that this is not official, it's not formal. We can have fun, and I get the feeling, man. Me and you are gonna have many podcasts together. I just get that vibe from you.
It'd be my honor, man.
Habibi, good to have you here. Listen, and one thing I want to tell you, you regularly crack me up on social media. So you're providing. Man, bro, you not just that, man. You're providing quality content on Jujitsu. I love to see the Dagestani content, but you crack me the fuck up with your like edited posts in that muscle guy on the beach, and the other one where you're training in Nigeria.
But you know what the funny thing is? There's people who actually like message me like, bro, what supplements do you take? How do you make things happen? I'm like, bro, like, do you not see how it's Photoshopped?
No, listen. Did you Photoshop them?
Yeah, I do Photoshop.
You're pretty damn good at Photoshop because it's gelled, it's smooth, it's perfect. Even the beard got gains as well in those pictures.
Man, I've done a few of those, and that last one I put, like, if you look at it pretty closely, you'll see it's Photoshop. But if I do it black and white, you won't see a difference because it starts to blend in really well.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I enjoy those, man. I love picking people's brains, not knowing what's going on.
Hey, listen, man, that's what I like about you. Yani, you are the definition of what I consider a martial artist because everybody has the stigma of what it is, but you're funny. You got a very good sense of humor. You're dedicated and passionate. I can see that in your posts and what you do. And you have a niche approach. That's why I really wanted to do this podcast with you because I'm looking at people that have a unique perspective into martial arts. Right, this is not just a biography where I'm just spilling the beans on every single person. I'm selecting people that I feel can really contribute to the community. And you are at a point, believe it or not, in my opinion, that is very valuable for others to listen to.
Wow, man, you're making me blush right now. Hold
brother,
on.
blush. What is that thing called, by the way? What is that caucus beanie called?
Papaja.
Papaja. All right, cool. So now I know what it is. Everybody, it's called a papaja. When Khabib wears it, it's a papaja. Perfect.
Yeah, papaja. Yeah. You know, he's been wearing the same one throughout his whole UFC career.
Oh, I did not know that.
Same one, yeah.
Is there like a luck thing to go with it, a superstition thing?
No, he just wanted to represent his culture. From what I know.
But he can represent his culture with a fresh one every time. Why is it the same one?
Well, I think because when he made his UFC debut, like he's stuck with it, you know?
I see.
I don't know how he cleaned it. I don't know from the cleaning aspect.
Because you're warming up in the room, that your head's sweaty, you put it on. I'm sure it needs some cleaning.
Aside for Joe Rogan, that's all I got.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. Honestly, I can't wait to get into all of this talk about Dagestan and your experience because it's so rich with content. But I believe another thing that's extremely rich with content is you. I want to know, I never got a chance to talk to you, so I want to know, where did you grow up? Where were you born?
I was actually born and raised here in Pomona, California.
Okay.
My parents are originally from Syria.
Okay.
My dad moved out here sometime in the 80s, and my mother gave birth to me out here. I lived in Emirates from 2000, like end of 2008, beginning 2009
Uh-huh.
to 2014, September 2014. So it was like 5.5 years.
And was that school? When was that like for you?
That was just my dad be like, yo, we want to change things up a little bit. We want to
Okay.
go to an Arab country and see how the waters were in Dubai. And yeah, we did that transition. And honestly, it was the best time of my life.
Wow, okay. And
Yeah,
where in the Emirates was it again?
Sharjah.
Sharjah. So you
Yeah.
grew up your entire life in the States, and then you decided after that to just get in touch with some Arab roots and go back to an Arabic country for a while.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it. That's a very cool...
You know, my dad wanted to go back to Syria. So he went before he moved out to Dubai. We went for a summer for like a 2-month vacation.
Right.
He was like, I can't do it here. I can't live here anymore. So he was like, let me try Dubai. Because, you know, he always wanted us to connect to our roots, to have the best of both worlds.
Yes.
And then he went to Dubai. He was like, man, I like this place. It's like, it has, you know, it's balanced with the Americanization, and there's English, and then there's
Exactly.
urban world. So you get the best of both worlds. So it was, alhamdulillah, it was a very good experience. Really good experience.
So, Yani, you're saying Syria. You're originally Syrian?
That's right. Yeah, Syrian. My family is originally from Syria.
Okay. Where in Syria, by the way?
Do you know Duma?
Duma, yes, of course.
Yeah, Ana Dumani.
I love it. I love it. I'm half Syrian. My mother's in Dimashq.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm Syrian Palestinian.
Oh, I did not know that, man.
Yes, sir. And my wife is Syrian. My mother's obviously full Syrian. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you know where the Anawat in Sham is?
Yes.
Anawat?
Yes.
Yeah, نحن أصلنا من Anawat, originally from like Anawat.
Okay, man. What a small world, bro. What a small
This is
world.
very interesting. Dun, dun, dun.
It will, bro. We're gonna get into a lot of parallels with this. So you stay in the UAE up to 2014?
Yes, September 2014. My brother and I, we decided to move back by ourselves.
Okay.
And just really establish our lives by our own.
Okay.
And 2 years after that, my brother, my mother, and my 2 other brothers, they followed us back.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it's we've just been here ever since.
And nice. And what do you do? Like, what does your daily life look like outside of Jiu-Jitsu? We're gonna get all into martial arts, but I just like to get to know you a little bit better.
So I came back to study from my university. I was studying in AUS, then I left AUS.
Mm-hmm.
I went to UOS.
Okay.
I left UOS, and I came back here, and I was just a student, you know, part-time jobs here and there.
Sure.
I worked over like a dozen different jobs when I came.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm a graphic design student.
Ah, that's where the Photoshop gets in.
Yeah,
I see it
right.
now. It all makes sense. Okay, cool. And are you doing any freelance work now? Are you...
Oh yeah. I've been doing freelance since 2013. I've been doing just small freelance gigs here and there, you know, just small things. But yeah, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to say dropped out, but I put school on pause this past, not year, maybe 9 months.
Okay.
After I started Rise and Glide. So I put school on pause so I can focus on it, and then hopefully someday go back to school.
I see, man. It's funny. Listen, you know the crazy time we're living in now with this whole coronavirus and stuff. And it's really showing the holes in the games of the old traditional jobs. There's this concept that I like. It's called being unbreakable. And unbreakable means if you rely on a single source of income, which requires you to physically go and spend time somewhere, you're breakable. Because a virus hits, your source of income goes at risk and you're done. Exactly. Yeah. People need 2 things, I believe. They need an ability to make money from their home, from anywhere actually, being flexible. And they need the ability to make money while they're not working, while they're sleeping. You know, this is how they level it. And I love to hear people who are freelancing and who've been freelancing since 2013. Because, it's the next step, I think, in so many people's personal careers. There's so many charismatic, you know, there's so many people with potential for so many things, but they end up limited into a job and they never pursue it. You're pursuing it. You're molding your life around your passions, and you're actively pursuing. You're saying I put the studies on hold. I think you're just simply doing what I'm saying is you're going after your passions. And I like that about you.
You know, I remember this day like it was yesterday. I was walking on campus, and I'm just like going from class to class. I'm like, look, Tahseen, you love graphic design, but not in a million years do I imagine myself sitting in an office for a company and like designing from 9 to 5. Like, you might as well just slap me around and kill me. Like, I just can't do it. You know, physically I can't do it. Mentally, I'm not capable of just doing the same routine over and over, not meeting new people, not going out of a building.
Yes.
Like, you need to do something. And I think it was the summer when I went to Dagestan again. Oh,
What?
for Habib's fight, Habib versus Connor.
Oh, this is recently.
Yeah, Habib versus Connor in
Okay.
2018.
Okay.
It was during that time when I was talking to myself on campus.
I
And
see.
I said, Tahseen, you need to do something that you love, something you can live off, but you have to find that niche. You have to find it because,
Yeah.
okay, you get a degree in graphic design, then what's going to happen?
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you going to do? I'm not going to work in an office. I just don't want to do it.
Yeah, and there's plenty of graphic designers in the world, and with India competing, it makes it very difficult.
You have these websites where you can just hire somebody for dollars, and they do everything for you, So, and that's, how I got into Rise and Glide is a whole different situation. But yeah, I needed to do something for myself,
Yeah, no, I absolutely get you, man, because in the end of the day, I feel like people who end up interacting with martial arts gain that leverage in their own personal life to make statements like that. A lot of people, they're living in their shell and they haven't had that opportunity to feel confident or powerful enough to make a statement like, I'm going to carve my own way, because they don't know what they're capable of. When they do a martial art, they realize, okay, maybe I'm not capable of much. And then within a short span of time, fuck, I'm capable, man. People can respect what I can do. And you're like, if I can do this on the mats, maybe I can do this in graphic design. Maybe I can do this in my own life. That's what I love about it, man.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah.
Cool. So
it just gives you that courage, yeah.
It gives you that courage, absolutely. So let's get into a little bit of where your story and martial arts meet. Was it Jujitsu at first sight? What was it like with martial arts?
Oh, like when I started martial arts?
Yeah.
You mean? Oh, well, in 2008, I was watching a lot of UFC. It was like George St. Pierre, Matt Hughes, Matt Serra.
Yes.
The old school guys.
Absolutely.
Michael Bisping, Roger Huerta. And I would just sit at home and watch these guys do UFC. I didn't even know it was called MMA.
Sure.
And I'm like, man, I want to be like these guys, man. I like this. I like this. I want to be like this. And I found this kickboxing Muay Thai place next to my house.
Okay.
I went and signed up and I just started training. I was doing Muay Thai and I was doing, I did Jiu-Jitsu for a month and a half, and then that professor left the academy.
Right when you started in that academy, you did Jiu-Jitsu at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh shit! And then he left.
Yeah, there was politics with the owner and everything, so he left.
Right.
And so I only got a month and a half of this experience of Jiu-Jitsu training.
Okay.
And I still have that gi. It's a thick gi, man. It's a hella thick gi.
What was your first impression in that month and a half at that age in life?
I loved it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because at that time, my friends and I, like at the mosque, like after like Jummah prayer, we would all like sit in the mosque and wrestle each other. Everybody would kick my ass, man. Everybody would kick my ass.
Oh shit! Those mosque boys, man, they tough.
They're tough, man.
I love it. Okay.
Especially with the rug burn you get.
people talk about mat burn, man. You try a mosque carpet.
It hurts. It hurts.
They do, man. They do.
After a month and a half, I started choking people out. I only know how to do chokes.
In the mosque?
Yeah.
I love it, bro. I'm liking this mosque. What mosque is this?
Join us.
People gotta know, man. This is the grappling mosque. I think, listen, the mosque will get a lot more attendance if you put grappling right on the front. Like, we grapple after Salat al-Jummah. Dude, man, that's the next level. Get spiritual and physical.
we used to go like purposely all meet up in the Jami' and that mosque just so we can hang out together afterwards.
I like that, man. I like that. That's cool. That's cool. That's a nice environment to have. So you start off with a month of Jiu-Jitsu, but kickboxing, you stick with this?
That's right. I stick with kickboxing. And when I moved to Sharjah, I joined Sharjah Sports Club.
Okay.
Sharjah Sports Club, and there was like this old school, tough coach from Tehran. A lot of the old schoolers, they know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
His name's Abdullah Basmi, right?
Okay.
And I joined his club, and I fought Muay Thai for him.
Okay, interesting. And how long did you fight?
I fought up until 2011.
Interesting. And did you like that experience? How did it make you feel fighting Muay Thai?
I actually wanted to do MMA. Like, that was my goal. I wanted to do UFC. I wanted to do MMA.
Okay.
But Jiu-Jitsu was very limited.
Right.
Like, I didn't know any Jiu-Jitsu clubs at that time. You would have people who would come and wrestle and grapple, but I wasn't learning. I was just doing what I know.
Right.
You know? The funny thing is, I was 17 years old. There's this organization called what were they called? Their fight was called Dubai War on the Shore.
What?
There's only three. Yeah, there's only 4 events of them that happened in
When
Dubai.
when an organization name rhymes, you know there's something wrong. Right?
I'm getting to the good
shit.
part.
Okay, okay.
Good part. I'm 17 years old.
Uh-huh.
I'm a junior in high school.
Uh-huh.
And my coach calls me up one night. He's like, "Hey, you wanna fight professional Muay Thai?" I'm like, "Yes, I want to fight professional Muay Thai." Keep in mind, I've only had 2 amateur fights before that.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Amateur fight, but I love it. Like
Okay.
I love the sport.
All right.
I love it. I'm like, sure. He's like, "Okay, come down to the club right now." And it was like 9 p.m. and let's take some pictures because they want to put it on some posters and everything. I'm
Ooh.
like, fine, yeah, this is going professional. And posters, it's a professional event, man.
That must have been a rush, man. To go from 2 fights to suddenly you're getting pictures taken and all this.
Press conference, picture taken
Well,
on Sharjah Road. There's a whole billboard that says Dubai War on the Shore. It's a
I can't get over the name, bro.
What the hell is going on, man? And my dad goes in. My dad had a client, and he goes into a hotel,
Yeah.
and he's my picture like on these posters. He's like, "Bro, my son is on
Let's
these posters."
go.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm trying to stay humble, but inside, like I'm yelling like a little girl, man.
Absolutely. I'm sure it is. It's invigorating to see your picture and like fighters and game like, Baba, look.
I was so proud, and he was so proud of that moment. He was really happy.
That's
for me.
cool. Okay.
But he didn't know what I was getting into, like as fight wise.
Did you know your opponent?
I knew my opponent, but I didn't know him personally. But I knew who he was.
Okay.
But my coach was such a tough guy. He didn't make it seem like it was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Very old school. He matched me. He matched me up with a 33-year-old Chechen guy.
And you're 17?
I was 17.
So he's double your age.
Double my age, double my size.
My God.
Bone density, bone structure, muscle mass.
And Chechenian. Just to add, it's Chechenian also. Just to add.
That's it. If I show you pictures when I saw him at the press conference, that's when I like started feeling nervous. I got scared.
Oh my goodness.
We were taking poses with each other, and mashallah, man, his biceps were huge, and his arms and his knuckles. I'm like, I'm fighting this guy.
What a situation to be in. You're in the deep waters straight away.
Yeah, there's point of no return.
You called your coach old school, and old school usually is code for old school technical experience and old school حمار. Sorry, but I don't, this is my opinion, but and sorry, يعني, if a person takes a person from 2 fights and into that kind of a fight, let's not go there, but let's just say he's old school.
Because this is going to be on the internet someday. So I'll just keep it.
I get you. I respect that, but look, in the end of the day, fighting, I believe, is a matter of trust, because a fighter doesn't go into a fight alone. In Jiu-Jitsu, in Muay Thai, and anything, right? So when you go into something, you have to trust on a team, on somebody around you. And I believe, let's say, mistreating that trust is a very big thing for me. It's something that's like, that's not right. So I feel like you were put into deep water when you shouldn't have. So what happened then?
I was, and what you're saying is true, and you'll see it once I tell you the story that happened after.
Oh no, okay.
So the next day comes, the day of the fight comes, and it's point of no return, and we had the press conference the day before.
Right.
My uncle actually flew from Syria at that time to watch me fight.
Okay,
That's
cool.
Tickets were expensive. There was VIP sales. I don't know what. And we go into the ring. I land a nice left push kick to his stomach. I do a nice few jabs.
Nice.
But he's strong, man. Like the punches he was throwing were hurting.
Okay.
And I think the rounds were 2 minutes.
Headgear, no headgear. It's a pro fight. Oh, it's a pro fight. Oh, whoa. Okay.
No, nothing. Elbows, knees allowed, everything.
Ooh.
Just big gloves, though. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, Tahseen, you're here.
Go for it. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, you're not gonna step out and just go for it. And we fought. For my experience and my nervousness, I think I did okay.
Right.
At the time, but wallah, he knocked me out.
Man.
He knocked me out.
What did he knock you out with?
2 left hooks.
So with the gloves, okay. So no serious elbow action, knee action. Thank
There was
God for
some
that.
the stomach, but no elbows or knees. But
Okay.
I was against the ropes, and he came with 2 left elbows, and I was out.
Wow.
I was
Wow,
yeah.
man. But listen, man, I don't even know what to tell you other than, man, god damn, you guys, you got a set of balls on you, man. Because like what you're saying would make any man run for the hills, because the situation is just you pretty much went in guns blazing. That's all I can say. Good for you.
I only
Okay.
did it because I had no idea what I was doing. If it was
Sure.
now, I would have done it.
Sure, of
You know
course.
what
Okay. You're young, man. Khalas, why not try it? Okay.
I mean?
So
Exactly.
what happens after that situation? Did you get any injuries?
I was injured, man. So I'll show you some pictures after. I looked like a dead body. So I was flat. You know how the knockouts
Yeah.
are. So flat on the floor, not moving. They lifted up my head, took out my mouth guard, put some water on me. I could at that moment, I lost memory.
Okay.
I only remember waking up in the car, and then the next memory after that is waking up the next morning. And then my parents.
What time was the fight? It was in the evening?
Yeah, it was in the evening.
Okay. All right. Because war on the shore feels like sun tanning and mojitos. Like, it doesn't. Okay. Okay.
Here we go. That. Yeah.
Okay. So you wake up the next day. How are you feeling?
Bruised.
Yeah.
Bruised. My jaw. I remember I couldn't eat too much because my jaw was really sore. Really sore.
And what were you thinking in terms of your career at that point? How were you feeling about fighting? How are you feeling about MMA now?
I actually loved it. I loved it, but I was still shocked how I lost.
Right.
Like I'm like, how that? Because you don't remember getting knocked out. Just boom, you're out.
Wow. Yeah, I can only imagine. I'm happy we're having this conversation. I've never been in the situation to get knocked out, so I could never imagine what the feeling's like. But I imagine at the same time, it gives you this feeling like that's the worst that can happen. I'm here. I'm fine, and like, let's go. Let's work from there, right?
But the thing is that it happened. It really gave me some short-term memory loss, and it gave me migraines for like a year after. Yeah, I had severe migraines on the back of my head.
Okay.
And I was never able to find out what it was or how I got these migraines.
Sure.
But 3 months after that fight, my old school coach put me in another boxing match. Less than 3 months.
You're still having migraines?
No.
No, like at that time you were still having migraines?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So boxing only fight.
It was Muay Thai, but at the time of the event, they said, okay, his leg's hurting or something, so we're going to only switch it to boxing. I was like, okay.
Right,
whatever.
okay.
But yeah, that messed me up a little bit.
Interesting, man. It's a trial by fire for you into martial arts, man. Straight into fights.
Right, fights, old school.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you're going through all of this. What made you shift to Jiu-Jitsu again? Like, where did this translate to Jiu-Jitsu?
That's a beautiful question, man. I had a sheikh like in a mosque that I in Sharjah.
Okay.
And he knew about my fights, and he was very happy for me and everything. And he was like, man, you're taking damage, dude, and you're still young. And you know, Islamically, you're not supposed to be hurting people like that, and people are not supposed to hurt you Islamically.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, he's like, yeah, like even a donkey, you're not supposed to slap on the face, you know? Imagine another human being. You know, as Muslims, when you do sujood and prostrate to the floor,
right?
You're on the floor. This is the most, give it what azam in English.
Sacred?
Sacred. The most sacred. Your face is going to the floor to worship your creator.
Yeah.
So hurting somebody else's face or hurting your own body.
Right. You're harming their sacred image when they perform that ritual. Okay.
Yeah. Even if there's a mutual agreement, it's still frowned upon.
Sure.
And after that, I was like, I was scared to go back into, like, it hurt. Like, I really wanted to go back to boxing, Muay Thai, but I was scared of getting injured even more.
Man, I'm sure, like, if you felt that short-term memory loss, those migraines, you're like, man, what else is in store for me? Yeah, I'm still young.
Yeah, I was really, like, I was already damaged. Like, khalas, like, I felt I couldn't even go back to it.
Okay. And you're in Sharjah. Did you get into Jiu-Jitsu in Sharjah?
Yeah.
Aha, okay. So your Jiu-Jitsu experience is in the UAE.
That's right. That's where it bloomed. That's where everything started for me. Yeah?
Okay. Where did you go?
One of my friends that fought with me at that same day, my teammate on Dubai War on the Shore.
Sorry.
I called them, it is a funny name, but how they advertise it was really nice.
Okay, cool.
I hit him up. I was like, man, I want to train jiu-jitsu. Do you know any places? I was like, I know a place in Ajman, but I don't want to drive that far. He's like, man, you have the Dagestanis next to you. What are you talking about? I'm like, what? Really? They're next to me in Sharjah? He's like, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Then I go to the building where the Dagestanis are the next day, and I see them, and the rest is history. Start training with them.
I didn't even know there was a Dagestani scene in Sharjah.
Yeah, there is.
Okay. And what's the gym called?
There's no, it's like the team is called JSJ.
JSJ, okay.
Yeah, and at that time in 2013, they got affiliated with Abu Dhabi Top Team.
Okay, I get you.
Under Marcos Oliveira. Yeah.
And you started off as a white belt. How long did you train with them?
I was there for a year and 8 months.
Did you get your blue belt?
I got my blue belt from my coach.
Nice, man. And what was your coach's name?
Omar Abdul Rashidov.
All right, so shout out to Omar Abdul Rashidov.
My coach.
I love it. I love it. Okay. And this is along the time that you decided to move back to the States or no?
Yes. Yeah. So after like being with him for close to 2 years,
okay,
almost after I got my he actually gave me my blue belt a week before I came back.
Oh wow, man! Because I was just about to ask, like, how did it feel leaving that team that you started with, and that must have been difficult.
Yeah, it wasn't a team; it was a brotherhood, man.
Ah, man.
A lot of brotherhood.
Different world with Jiu-Jitsu, I think.
These Dagestanis and Chechens, man, they're, they make you feel like family.
Yeah. I have some experience with Russia and neighboring countries in the Balkans, and I have a special loving for them because a lot of people have this misconception, and they let that misconception limit them from actually going to these countries because they had a rough time. Like, for example, for me, the Balkans, Serbia, Montenegro, and these countries, Macedonia, a lot of people don't go because they recall the UN issues in 1999, the communism recently. Like, fuck it, we're not going to go. But you go there, man, the people they went through, they're not as modern as a lot of other countries. And it makes them depend on each other more because the more modern you get as a country, the less you need the people around you.
That's so true, man.
You're online, you're ordering your groceries, they're coming to your door, you're a VIP and everything, I don't know what. But in these countries, you don't have that facility, that structure. So you still have to know the grocery guy, you still have to know the butcher, you have to know people.
Yes.
But their social skills are actually up there. They're better social skills than us. They know how to bond and trust and stuff. You just need to break the ice and gain their trust. I feel like this is a big thing for them because they live in an environment that went through communism, went through difficulty, where, man, in order to survive, if you wanted to live off of what the government's giving you, you'd have a hard time. You had to survive by trusting each other, you know?
That's true. That's very true, man.
So they have that barrier to entry, but I feel like you broke that through your jiu-jitsu experience in Sharjah.
Yeah. You know what's so funny? It's have you heard of the butterfly effect?
Yeah.
How one thing leads to another, and then that thing leads to something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So after I fought the Chechen, I'm like, what's with these Chechens? Why is everybody talking about these Chechens?
It's amazing how that happens.
Okay. I remember, like in elementary school here in the United States, my one of my teachers used to make dua for Chechnya. I didn't even know what Chechnya was. I thought it was a dish. I thought it was a food. You could say shishan. I'm like, what the hell is shishan, man?
Oh man, that's some good kebab.
So you know how we have like shish barak, shish
yeah, exactly. Shishan, it just makes sense. Okay.
And until I fought the Chechen, Shishani, and then I started doing my research and everything. And so when my friend told me you have some Chechens and Dagestanis next to you in Sharjah that train grappling and jiu-jitsu, I was like, connect me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And did you train in any other gyms during this time? Like, you've training in this, did you compete? Did you train in any other gyms in Sharjah or Dubai?
Yeah, like towards the end of September 2014, I was training at a few other places, but just as friends, like, hey, I'm gonna come to your gym and do a few rolls and stuff like that.
Right. No, because the reason I'm asking you is because I want to understand from you how you felt the differences between that Dagestani gym and the other gyms that were running around you. Like, was the training protocol different? Was the aggression different?
Yeah, for sure. Everything was different.
In what way?
The structure of it, yeah. With the Dagestanis and Russians, it's very informal.
Okay.
You come in late, you do your own warm-ups, you want to join the class. There's no like, oh, you're late, you have to bow, you have to do push-ups, you have to do this.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very informal.
Were there kids and adults or just adults?
Kids and adults in the class. Yeah.
Arabs and Dagestanis or just Dagestanis, Chechens?
My time, I was the only Arab.
Wow, okay.
I was the only Arab. And then like a few of them started coming in. Then we had another Yemeni. Then we had a guy from Tunis.
Right.
Yeah, we have very limited Arabs at that time.
Very interesting experience, man. That must have been cool because you're getting cultured and Jiu-Jitsu, right? That's pretty damn cool.
I learned their culture of training just by observing. I loved it.
Did you feel it was similar to later on what you experienced, which we'll get into? It had roots with it. Oh, that's so cool, man.
It was like it's like eating a dish from home, but you're not home.
Right.
Same thing, same taste, just in a different location.
I like that description. That's a very good way of putting it. So, okay, so you're in this amazing scene and you just got your nice dose of Dagestani Jiu-Jitsu. You moved to the US. You continue Jiu-Jitsu right away?
Well, it took me a while to find the right place. But yeah, like within 2 months, I started training again.
But isn't California packed with Jiu-Jitsu?
True, but where I was living, those good places I think you're talking about were like a 50-mile drive, 40-mile drive.
I get you. And so which gym did you end up joining?
I joined a gym called Team Braga.
Okay.
Yeah, under Vonder Braga. He had a black belt, which is my second coach, Gerbo Nerne. And he had a team called Upland MMA.
So talk to me how you felt the difference was between going from the Dagestani Jiu-Jitsu club to the Braga Jiu-Jitsu club. What the structure? I guess it's more formal.
Yeah, the structure is formal. You know, and it was me coming back to the US after like 5.5 years, 6 years. So my English is still not the best.
But you were born and raised in the US, no?
Yeah. But I always have tongue twisters, and my accent is like a fob. You know, like it just fluctuates back and forth sometimes.
Now, no, obviously. You feel it a little at that time.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was still used to Arabic.
I get you. And like, because a lot of people, they see the US Jiu-Jitsu scene as this booming scene. And I know a lot of people that travel there, okay, you've got the Marcelo Garcia, you've got the Mendes brothers and stuff, really extremely technical. But in the average gyms, not to call them average, but in the gyms that are all around, do you feel that the level of Jiu-Jitsu was matching the level of Jiu-Jitsu in the UAE and the Dagestani gym? Or more casual?
Good question. For the Team Braga compared to the Dagestanis?
Yes. Like a blue belt in the Dagestani gym versus a blue belt in that gym. Do you feel like...
See, this is the thing I was going to talk about later, but since you mentioned it, the thing is with Dagestanis and Chechens is these kids are brought up with wrestling.
Oh, okay.
So when you have a blue belt in Jiu-Jitsu as a Dagestani,
yes,
he already has tons of experience in wrestling.
I get you.
And now he's just adding submissions to it. So he's already fast and lethal, and he's jumping all over the place, and he's quick. Over here, a blue belt is a blue belt. Yeah.
He just joined Jiu-Jitsu and he got his blue belt. He doesn't have anything, any auxiliary activities. I get you. Okay. So, all right, you know what? We're there. Why not talk about it? When did you moved to the US? You haven't gone to Dagestan yet. You just trained in a Dagestani gym. When does this happen? What triggered you going to Dagestan?
Oh, I've been wanting to go since after I fought the Chechen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
After I did my research, I've been wanting to go. So my dream of going there was since 2011.
You know, not to interrupt you, but it's funny you say that because my first real interaction with, let's say, Chechnya, Dagestan was in a fight as well. All right. So we have that in common. I worked in a construction company for almost 12 years. One of the largest Arab construction companies, and we had a project that was in Chechnya. So I went to Russia, we went there as well, and there was quite a good relationship there, but I never really got to experience the fighting side. I wasn't fixated on this. Fast forward until my competition in blue belt.
Okay.
And everybody in that was talking about the Chechnyans and the Dagestani in the competitions. And I saw this maybe your coach, he has a beard, shaved head. His team.
Sometimes he's.
I think that's him. So his team was there. And a lot of people were telling me, man, these guys are tough. These guys are good. These guys are this and this and this and this. I don't know if this guy I fought was from their team, but he was an MMA fighter, Chechnyan. He was in his 30s as well. And it was my first fight. So I'm like, man, what's this? Why I got to warm up with this guy? And you look at him, man, the guy's shredded. You know, he's got that typical block build. Right? Those broad shoulders and these things. The one thing I had at that time, my game wasn't so well developed, is the collar choke. If I grab the collar, I'm choking. So I don't want to play with this guy. So with the fight starts, we slap, we bump, and then he grabs my collar and he just does this. And man, as soon as I felt it, abort! I grab the collar and I drop into guard. And I just hold him for dear life. I managed to squeeze in a collar choke, luckily, on that. But he was not going to tap. The guy was tough as fuck. And I felt like harabt bhayati. Like, I felt like I escaped with my life. Afterwards, I got to know him. And that's where I started getting curious, because I saw the team and their teams were killing everybody in the competition. Since then, I've wanted to. And when I saw your Instagram post, by the way, this is the coincidence that connects us. And I saw you posting about Dagestan and Chechnya and fighting and stuff. This is where I followed you. And I'm like, I want to watch out for this guy, see what he's up to, because I want to go.
Thank you.
So it's cool. So you've had this connection with these guys since your Chechnya experience. What got you to Dagestan?
Well, after I did my research, I just fell in love with that whole region. You know, that toughness they have, their mentality. You know, their fighting, the fighting aspect they had.
Right.
And obviously got to train with them. Got my blue belt from them.
Sure.
Emerged in their culture. And then when I came out to the U.S. again, I'm still attached to it. Like I still want to be a part of it. I still want to train with them and everything.
That's cool.
And 2 years after that, in 2016, I had saved up just enough money to pursue that dream and just go visit.
And like, you have to know somebody that'll take you around there and stuff. And was that from your old gym, or did you meet somebody new in the US?
I have connections with almost all of them.
That's
all
cool.
of them that I've met.
That's cool.
And I was hitting them up.
Yes.
And be like, man, I want to come out and see you guys. What do you guys? Come visit, please. Come visit.
Cool.
Come visit. And I made it happen, and it was just a dream come true.
I felt like they were really excited to have you over, and they were so welcoming, man. Like, I love that culture.
Very welcoming. Very welcoming, yeah.
And you get there, they pick you up from the airport, and you just you start the Dagestani experience.
Yeah. So you have to go through Moscow first, and then from Moscow you have to go to Dagestan.
Okay, I get you. And was this in winter or summer?
This was in June 2016, summer.
Nice, beautiful weather at that time.
Right.
It doesn't get hot there, does it?
It does. It can get a little humid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little humid. Yeah.
So you were going there to see the country or to train?
Both.
So you had that like camp mentality in mind.
Yeah. I actually, when I was telling my friend, his name is Mirza, he's one of the first guys that I started contacting. I told him, I want to come out and train with you guys. Like, nice. I want to do that camp. Like, put me in a hotel or an apartment, and I want to train like 2 times a day.
Wow.
Yeah. And he was like, okay, no problem, man. No problem. Come. No problem. And like, made it happen,
Is he a black belt? Is he a coach in a gym, or?
This guy, Mirza, he's actually, his friend is the guy who knocked me out on Dubai War on the Shore.
What a small world, man. Yeah. Okay.
So him and his buddy knocked me out, and he knocked out my buddy, our teammate, teammate.
A lot of knocking out going on. Okay.
Yeah. So I kept in contact with him, and he was the guy that I got to meet in Dagestan.
Very cool. What was your first expression? You get to Dagestan, you're looking left, you're looking right, you get to meet a few of the guys, Mirza. In your mind, what's your first expression?
It smells like Syria, man.
Really?
Yeah. It smelled like Damascus.
It's when you say that, you immediately got me to where you are. I know exactly what you're talking about. That old, and like old city smell, historic.
Yes, exactly. The smell of the diesel, the water.
Yeah. Exactly. The freshness of everything. Okay, and
exactly. Yeah, that's what it was.
And how was it experiencing like the culture? Did you feel comfortable being an Arab going there? It felt familiar.
Yeah, I was so comfortable, man. Like, there's this thing where like you get what you know. What is it? What you're perceiving, what you want comes to you, or what you think of.
Okay.
Help me with this.
The law of attraction. You mean?
The law of attraction, but alongside is what you're pursuing is pursuing you.
I get you. Okay.
Yeah, so when you have your mindset, like if you go visit another country, like I know all these people are rude, you can have interactions with only rude people.
I absolutely get you. It's your mindset, how you're approaching it, your attitude. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's in a lower scale, you know, when you suddenly get interested in something like a car or a shoe, and then suddenly everybody and their mother is driving that car.
Yeah. It happens, man. Yeah,
Your
'cause you
attention
want-
is focused on it.
exactly. So the law of attraction also plays part of
Sure.
it.
But you know, that aside, like me going
Yeah.
to Moscow versus Chechnya,
Mm.
Moscow, I felt cold. I didn't feel gelled in immediately. But being an Arab and as well Muslim, when you go to these countries, it's just the language is different. The makhbaz is the same, the malham is the same. You know, it's
Exactly, man.
it feels like home.
I felt it was Syria just in a different language.
I get you. I get you.
Different language. Yeah. That's
What
all
was the
it
first
man.
thing you ate in Dagestan?
Dagestan. Oh, it was some meat.
Some meat. Okay, so you went to a restaurant and you had meat or a home.
Yeah. No, it wasn't in a home. Oh, I just remembered something. When I came to Dagestan,
Yes.
I came from Circassia. So we drove by car.
Okay.
I was at my friend's house in Circassia and we took like a 12-hour road trip.
Whoa.
And then, yeah.
So a road trip through Circassia into Dagestan. How was the nature?
Oh, man, it was breathtaking. You see these tall green trees for miles and miles. And then you see like abandoned, it's a desert of forests, you know? It's
Wow.
Forest, yeah.
How were the roads? Were they like well constructed, safe roads?
Okay,
Or?
that's something different.
Oh shit!
Yeah. It wasn't the best, but
Any near-death experiences on this road, or was it okay?
no, alhamdulillah, no death experiences. Just
Okay.
checkpoint.
Dude, I saw a video of you in Dagestan, a video or a picture where you're on the edge, and I don't know if it really looked the way it looked, but it looked terrifying.
That was one of the scariest moments, man.
It was in Dagestan, right?
Yes.
Man, I felt like they're gonna push you off the cliff there, man. It was very high.
That was so, you know, I had a little peer pressure, but I also wanted to experience it for myself.
Right.
And like, even though I was far from it, before that picture, I was far from it.
Sure.
I was shaking because it was really scary.
I got a fear of heights, man. So when I saw that picture, man, I felt my knees got weak and shit, man. It was like,
my knees got weak too, man.
is Dagestan like high up, high elevation?
Yeah.
How high were we talking as a?
In elevation wise, I don't know numbers. I just know it's in the mountains, and if you want to go running, you can have a hard time.
So you feel it. That's why I'm asking. Like you feel it in your cardio.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
And
I suffer when I roll there. I suffer a lot.
And when you go back down, do you feel different? Like when you go to another city after Dagestan, do you feel like you can breathe again, or do you feel like the air is heavy?
So around Dagestan, the Caucasus region, it's all mountain region.
Sure.
It's only when I come back to California, I'm like, I have good cardio now.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Very interesting, but because they're renowned for their cardio. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe living in that environment, because I want to get into that with you. I want to see your scientific experience there. Is their cardio is phenomenal. Almost all of the fighters you see in UFC, barring the super buff ones, okay, they have tremendous cardio. The guys that have natural Dagestani looking bodies, you know, that typical profile I'm talking about, they have insane cardio. Then you have the guys that are excess big, they gas out, and you see them in the UFC. So this we all know, more muscle mass leads to more oxygen depletion. Okay, so you're in this environment. When was your first role? Where did you go?
So after when I met Mirza, then we had took me to this cafe. We had some tea, you know, we had some meat and everything. And I'm like, man, I want to start training. And he calls up one of the guys. And I have a visitor here who wants to start training with you. I'm like, sure, bring him in. And luckily, it was right downstairs from the apartment I was in, and it was walking distance.
Perfect.
And
you had just had meat.
It was the same day.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was like the next morning or 2 days after.
All right, cool. Yeah. So you go to this gym. Is it packed?
You go down in the basement, man, and like you open this door and it's like ripped mats and like the smell of grease, sweaty men.
The inside of boxing gloves. Is it that smell I'm imagining?
That smell you smell all around.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's when you know, like, these are tough guys going on.
Yeah. When the entire gym smells like a beat up boxing glove, you know they're tough.
Tell me about it.
Okay. And all ages, mix of ages, or just adults?
Because there were so many people, like there was kids, but these kids are not kids. Like,
not by our measures.
Yeah, like he's a 14-year-old kid, but he's taller than me and he's more built. So I don't know if I can still call him a kid.
Did you get to roll with them?
Yeah, I did.
And how with the kids? I mean,
Yeah.
how did that feel?
Yeah. These kids are fast. Like,
Yeah.
they really give me a hard time. Like, I hate to say, but it is what it is, man. These kids, some of them have beat me.
Yeah.
They
No,
really took me out and beat me.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that, because if there's something I understand about the entire region is, like we said, life isn't so modern there. So they're not in a rush to go to an 8 to 5 job. Their job is usually, it's legacy. It's like old Japan. Japan, the father's a carpenter, the son's a carpenter, the next one's a carpenter, you know? And they get refined. So they don't have like an 8 to 5. Their life is carpentry. And then they have that other thing. So they commit to martial arts in a way that we don't have the luxury to, you know, because we're living in this little mouse wheel that we live in.
Yeah,
so
that's so true.
So you're fighting, you're comparing apples to pears. It's completely different with them.
True, man. That's true.
When did Jiu-Jitsu really come to the region?
Of
Dagestan, Chechnya, like when did Jiu-Jitsu really kick off there?
Well, it's been there for a while, like, because there's a lot of like 2 Dan black belts. Not a lot, but like a good hand, maybe 6 of them.
Interesting.
And they used to, some of them used to live in Dubai. They used to compete in Abu Dhabi World Pro, and their students are people like.
Where did they get their start in Jiu-Jitsu? In the US?
No. Well, some of them got their black belts from US people when they used to come out and train.
Okay.
But their Jiu-Jitsu was never really called Jiu-Jitsu. It was just grappling.
I see. From the base of Sambo and wrestling, or?
Exactly. Even Khabib's father said, we used to do MMA before it was even called MMA.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they had Sambo, they had Judo, and then they had wrestling.
I see.
You know, that wrestling, some of the wrestling had like catch wrestling moves where
yes.
you can cut some guy's head.
Yes.
You know, unorthodox.
Greco-Roman as well has a bit of that, yeah.
Exactly. So they just had that. And then I don't know what year or when really Jiu-Jitsu came into the region, but that concept is already there, you know?
I get you. But do you feel like they've embraced it a lot? Do they like look at Jiu-Jitsu as a very respectable martial art, or do they still think Sambo and these ones have more power in it?
You know, just like everything in life, there's a trend.
Yes.
So Sambo was really trendy 10 years ago. Everybody was doing Sambo. Now everybody's starting to do Jiu-Jitsu.
I see.
Yeah, so everybody's really following the Jiu-Jitsu path, and De La Hiva guard, spider guard, lasso. So now they're really being creative. I even saw a difference between 2016 and my last visit right now.
Right.
2019. More technical, way more technical.
I like that.
Grit and strength and just throwing your
and it also coincides with this boom of online jiu-jitsu availability, right? Because like these guys in Dagestan are sitting down now, they open up that website, they call one of the kids that speaks English, and they start watching Marcelo Garcia.
And it's like you were there. That's so funny you say that, because one of the purple belt coaches, he was watching Gordon Ryan's techniques. He had his phone out and he's just watching. He's like, look what he does here. Okay, let's drill this. And
man, it's funny. There's a lot of resistance in the jiu-jitsu community to this online. You've got the diehards, like me. I have pretty much every video you can imagine with these instructionals. And then you have the guys that be like, no, man, you can't learn that way. You got to learn on the mats. Having too much is sometimes less. You know what I mean? There's people with that approach. What do you feel about that? Are you pro online instructionals?
I think it's subjective, man.
Sure.
I think it's subjective to like every person. If you can learn from online and do it physically and implement it, then it works for you. If you're a person who just likes practicality and you can't do online, then do it for you.
And what kind of a person are you?
I think I'm a mixture of both.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you're open to learning from these legends online and trying to apply it to your game.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you go to this gym. Talk to me about their methodology. Like, is it technique, drill, roll, or do they do things differently down there?
Yeah, it's well, because I go to a few different gyms, but so let's say with one of them, it's a warm up, but it's not like crazy warm ups. It's very simple. Yeah, just warm ups, just to get the blood flowing. You know, move your hand, jump up a little bit. You know, just stretch out.
Okay.
And they go into some gyms, most of them. They go into drilling.
Yes.
So you get a partner and 10 arm bars, right, left, triangles, omoplata, what's the next one? Kimura.
Okay. So nothing crazy in terms of drill numbers, like not 100 of each side and things like that.
After training, that's when they want to do the cardio after training.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. So here's the thing. Like, I like that you're saying the warm-ups aren't so hardcore, because right away that tells you this is not commercial. Because commercial gyms, they extend the warm-ups for multiple reasons. One, it shortens the class that you have to actively teach. And B, it reduces the chances of injuries.
Yes.
If I warm up the shit out of every joint, I reduce my liability as a gym. You know what I mean? But these guys, they're not looking for that.
No, I don't. That concept doesn't really exist. They just want you to really just warm up and just start training.
Yes, they want to get to it.
And that's funny you say that, because that's one of my experiences with some of the gyms in the US.
Yes.
And it was really bothering me, man. Like, really bothering me. Like, they would warm up and just like exhaust us.
Yeah.
Like in the warm up.
Exactly. You get to the technique and it's like, I can't do the proper muscle memory because my muscle's terrible.
Yeah, boring, man. It just gets boring.
Yeah, no, I can totally understand. My jiu-jitsu changed completely because it's funny. The Brazilians, in their training, they don't have these insane warm-ups. They warm up just like you said. Everybody do a little bit of like the S mount switches and do a bit of your neck rolls and spine rolls, and let's get started.
Get the blood flowing.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, different gyms, different methodologies, or did you feel they were mostly the same?
Mostly the same. Mostly the same. Some of them might switch things around where no warm-ups, but they would start off with technique.
Cool.
Yeah, start off with technique, and then they would do, well, after the technique, I don't know how many minutes, but it was a solid 30, 40 minutes of technique, and then they would go straight into rolls.
And how many rounds would they do?
Minimum 6.
Okay, that was one training, you would call it, right?
Yeah.
Right after that, you said they do cardio, or?
Yeah. So some gyms, after that, we would do a group training of like, okay, everybody push-up position, up, down, plank.
Cool.
And he just keeps, there's no numbers, he just, mara'o, mazajo. When he wants to tell you stop, you stop. And,
what was the bread baked well? Did the meat taste good today? Did he drink his coffee?
you can't tell, man. When he's in training, he's a different person,
I love it. I love it. Okay, so do you feel, this is something I heard repeatedly about Russian wrestlers, Dagestani and Chechenian. They play a lot more than people think. A lot of people are of this mentality that it's all like and crazy and testosterone and shooting shit in the bathrooms. Like, what I understood about Russia and this region, from people from the region as well, is they play a lot because it's their life. They're always sitting in the gym, talking, and they're playing jiu-jitsu, playing wrestling, which is why they're good. They're not just hardcore all the time. Am I right or am I wrong?
What do you mean by play? Like enjoying it?
Everybody enjoys it. Even some of the crazy people, like they're self-masochists and they want to hurt themselves to enjoy. But I mean, to them, it's playful. They're not boot camp training, I feel. Mm-hmm. Is that true or is it wrong? Do I have the wrong conception of it?
I really haven't seen it like that. Like even for the people like that work like 9-to-5 jobs and who come to training after,
okay,
they take it very serious.
I see.
Yeah, like they'll do everything in their willpower for them not to be submitted.
Wow. Okay, because Coach Firas Zahabi from TriStar Gym. You hear some of his podcasts and some interviews he's had, and he was comparing some of the Dagestani and Russian grapplers, and he said the American and Canadian approach, let's say, is intense, hardcore camps and training. And then they go through periods where they're not intense. He's like, well, the difference between them and the Russians is that the Russian, all year they're training and they're getting the volume in because the intensity is lower.
Yes.
So yes. I don't know if that relates or not.
In that aspect, they're always training. Yes, this aspect, like even Khabib, he's always training consistently.
Sure.
And once the camp starts, then he starts to pick up the pace. That's why he like does these countdowns like 100 days before fight and then 60 days before fight. He's 3 months ahead of everybody.
I love it. I see.
Yeah.
And what kind of auxiliary training did you guys do when you were down there? CrossFit, bodybuilding?
Yeah. Because I wanted to mix and match everything. I wanted to get experience of everything. I was doing CrossFit. I was doing bodybuilding, Jiu-Jitsu. I did some wrestling.
Okay.
And, I've been wanting to do judo and sambo, but because the trend went down for judo and sambo,
sure.
So there's not many academies that really offer that. Or if they did, it was conflicting with the time of Jiu-Jitsu.
How did you feel the wrestling was?
Wrestling was tough, man.
Okay.
Even their warm-ups is tough. Their technique is tough. They're just naturally, wrestlers are more grittier and faster.
I've never done wrestling. I want to. I always wanted to do wrestling, and it might be the first time I do wrestling when I go down to Dagestan with you. Best describe that experience to me doing it. Was it your first time?
It was my first time with them as wrestlers.
Okay.
But I did like maybe 2 or 3 sessions of wrestling here, but it was with Jujitsu guys. We took a wrestling class together. It wasn't wrestlers.
Okay.
But over there, it was all, I'm a Jiu-Jitsu guy going into wrestling.
Sure.
So it was a different atmosphere. And, you know, Jiu-Jitsu guys, when we're having a hard time, we can lay on our back. We can do a few positions we can rest in.
Yeah.
That concept doesn't exist for them. They're boom, go, 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 go. So they have that fast twitch going on all the time.
That's a very good point. Like most people, they like guard passing, but when you feel they get tired, they switch to guard, right?
Yeah.
Just to take a break. But in wrestling, it's all guard passing. There's nothing else to it. Interesting.
And the grips, you have to, you know, the guy's sweaty and he's not wearing a t-shirt, so you're constantly gripping whatever you can. You have to have grips.
Interesting. So you felt, did that contribute to your game today?
Yes. Yeah. Because I want to be like that. I'm just too lazy of a person.
Right.
Like I can see myself. I know myself. I'm lazy and I'm slow. And I want to become fast. I don't want to rest in jiu-jitsu. And if I can implement that, I know I can be a dangerous grappler someday. Someday.
Sure.
Not now. But yeah, I definitely want to incorporate it.
That's the thing. I think a lot of people that can learn a lot from this are the ones that are open to trying wrestling, sambo, jiu-jitsu, because it's flying out of my brain right now. But one of the Gracies, the famous one that passed away from paragliding, do you remember his name?
I didn't even know someone passed away.
So one of the Gracies, he was poised to be like the top fighter of the Gracies before Hickson, right?
Okay. Oh, before Hickson.
If somebody also, if somebody's listening to us right now and remembers that name, please let me know. So basically, he was blonde, blue eyes. He looked very different than the typical MO of the Gracies, and they all looked up to him. He was the High-end Gracie. Thank you. So High-end Gracie was basically a phenom. He was Henzo's brother, and he used to travel, do wrestling. He used to go do sambo, and he used to compete in sambo competitions and competed in wrestling, and he went and he brought that back home. And they would go into that Gracie family home, the fazenda, the farm, and they would practice these drills and come up with new techniques to incorporate it with the ground game. And he was really the person that lifted jiu-jitsu. Hickson and Henzo really looked up to him, and because they were so close to him, they are today some of the most technical jiu-jitsu guys in history. Yeah, unfortunately, he passed away too young. He had a paragliding love for hobby, and his paraglide failed, and he died from that very young, in his 30s. He had a kid. His son trains in Henzo Gracie Academy in New York now. Igor Gracie is his son. So, but it's interesting.
I know Henzo's brother passed away, but I didn't know that was him. And
yes. So this is the story behind that, and it just comes to show you that the guys that go out and seek information from all parts of the world, and not just jiu-jitsu, but wrestling and sambo, can really benefit their game. Holes Gracie, thank you, Harmful. Yes, Holes Gracie, not High-end. Holes Gracie.
Holes Gracie, okay.
Yeah, ROLLS.
That's nice.
That's something to Holes Hoys, baby. So, so may he rest in peace. He was a legend.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I feel like the people who really like go out and cross train are people who want to exceed knowledge, who want to gain knowledge, and who really want to step out their comfort zone. Because as a jiu-jitsu guy, you can be very comfortable playing lasso or spider guard, and you feel you're the best at it, and you might be the best at it, but throw you in a wrestling class or judo or sambo, and you're going to get humbled, man.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, they're going to smash you.
You're going to get humbled, but if you look at it from the sense of life and not just jiu-jitsu, anything challenging and difficult means you're growing. And a lot of people, they drive away from it. Like, it's funny to me that some people that join jiu-jitsu, they go into something they know is going to be challenging and painful, but something about it makes them stick. Eventually, they get comfortable within jiu-jitsu and start to find the comfortable positions and avoid the painful ones. Avoid the ones where they're put at risk, and it actually starts killing their game. I went through that. In blue belt, I went through that phase where I started, in my mind, I'm like, I want to be so efficient that I'm comfortable rolling. And there's no such thing. I was in this delusion in my brain that I need to be relaxed and totally tension-free, and that I picked positions naturally that were inferior, and that got me in trouble. other people as well, like they avoid wrestling and judo, for example. You don't want to get slammed a lot, so you avoid judo classes if you're taking jiu-jitsu. But if you took them, you would go to the next level.
Exactly. You know, I'll send you a video. I was contemplating about posting it or not. I went up against a boxer in Dagestan.
Yes.
I think he has MMA training or judo training. And when we stood up, he put me against the wall. I was a bit frightened, like, what is he gonna do to take me down? Because this can hurt. And like, I was trying to, okay, should I try to pull guard? Should I do anything? So I just, in my mind, like, Tahseen, just survive and play with it. And he ended up taking me down. But I know exactly what you're saying. Like, I love takedowns. I'm just not comfortable doing them because I haven't really been taught them, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. How old are you, by the way?
I am turning 26 in exactly a month, inshallah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Happy birthday, Salafan.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
So 26, you're getting at that age where, you know, I don't want to say at that age. I would consider the mid-30s to be the prime, right?
Okay.
For most adult men, the mid-30s is a prime. I started jiu-jitsu at 26, which is a bit late. And you know, it's a funny story. My first experience with jiu-jitsu was I was in university in 2008, around the same time you were getting interested in MMA and stuff. But I was in university. My background was boxing. I used to compete in boxing for about 8 years. I always got into that. I'm thinking boxing, the sweet science punches, that beautiful art of boxing. And this girl started training jiu-jitsu in university that we knew. So she sat down with us and she started saying things like guillotine and kimura. And to me, I'm like, this is not an anime. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, boxing, jab, punch, hook, uppercut. And you're telling me guillotine and kimura? Like, what is this Naruto show that you're telling me about?
What are these weird words you're saying?
Exactly. So for me, it was like, felt like WWE. I felt like the names pushed me away from actually ever getting the chance to experience it. I was there. I'm in UAE. They had just started. If I started back then, it would have been a different world. But it put me off of jiu-jitsu. This talk is in 2006. And I did not start jiu-jitsu until 2012. Right?
Not bad.
6 years. Yeah, at least, man, khalas, like, my first class and I was hooked. And funny enough, my first class was a kimura. One of the words she said. But I felt like, you know, that was the thing that kept me away from it. But I'm happy I actually tried it and I went for the challenge that most people avoid. So switching gears a little bit, let's talk about Tahseen the entrepreneur. All right? Because I feel like
Is he here?
He's in the second drawer behind you.
He'll come out in a bit, right? Just wait for him.
So listen, nobody just goes to Dagestan on a limb, right? It takes a certain personality to want to go to a place that's so different. It takes another personality as well to get started with businesses. Now, I feel like you're a man of many trades. You're a graphic designer, but I feel like you're always active in doing things, aren't you? Am I wrong?
I try to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to be, yeah.
I definitely get that vibe from you. So what does it mean to you to start a side hustle? Do you consider Rise and Glide to be a side hustle or a main hustle?
It is a side hustle until I can pick it up and make it a main hustle.
Okay. All right. So how does it feel to you to have a side hustle that is jiu-jitsu oriented or martial arts?
Wallah, blessed. To be honest, like, I'm really blessed. Even though I think 7 or 8 days ago was the 1-year anniversary of launching my business,
cool.
Rise and Glide. And I was able to mix my passion of jiu-jitsu, my passion of traveling, and my passion of Dagestan itself. All three in one.
I like that.
All three in one. So very blessed. You know, even though like we are not where we want to be, but I'm so patient with it that I'm surprised I'm patient with it.
Yeah,
you know?
That's the beauty of getting into things that you're passionate about. Like, you have a lot more patience and endurance than your average person working a job they don't like. And B, somehow, you know, in Arabic, we have that saying, "Al-bwab yiftahu lak." You know what I mean? Like, the door is open for you. For some reason, you feel like the stars align when you get that good feeling in something and you pursue it as a business and you play that balance. Where is that balance for you between treating it like a business or a passion? Do you feel like sometimes your passion overwhelms the business side of you?
Oh, that's a very good question, man. I didn't even think about it like that. I just I follow these entrepreneurs like Gary Vaynerchuk, and they talk about this thing. And when I went with my first client in November, I was doing the business aspect of it. Like, I was handling the finances, the paperwork, all that stuff, but I'm just enjoying it. Like,
I get you.
I don't know. I didn't know how to explain it, but I'm like, yeah, I love, like, all the struggles it was bringing. I loved it.
I get you.
I genuinely enjoyed it. Like, enjoy like overcoming, like, okay, now we have an obstacle, we have to overcome it. I enjoyed those as compared to like working someplace and you hate your life at that job.
100%.
Yeah, I just enjoyed it, to be honest. So,
and I like the balance between your graphic design and this. I think they complement each other. I think your experience can help you up your social media game, which it is. Your vlogs, the videos you're producing, all of the content around it, I really enjoy. And I really recommend everybody to go check out Rise and Glide. I'm going to keep tagging it all day today on Instagram for people to check it out.
We really appreciate that.
Man, it's absolutely my pleasure. I wanted to get an insight. What started Rise and Glide? You're in Dagestan, you're rolling, and you get that idea with the guys. Like, how does it come about?
So you remember when I told you in 2011 I wanted to go out there to do like my own training?
Yes.
So I went in 2016 and I had like an amazing time.
Okay.
When I went out in 2018, October 2018,
okay,
for Khabib versus Conor,
okay,
people started messaging me from my stories, Instagram stories, like, dude, that's crazy. You experienced that fight there. Oh, take us with you next time. We want to go. We want to go. And I just see this demand out of nowhere. I'm like, you guys want to come to Dagestan now?
Wow.
Like, I've been in love with this place for so long. Now you guys want to look at it? And then I just saw this thing and I'm like, I think I should bring people here. You know, I know the Republic a bit well. I can get around. I know people. I bought a notebook over there and I just started sketching ideas, and little by little, the ideas started growing a bit. And while I was there, I was trying to come up with a name.
I get you.
And I didn't want it to be like a generic last name of something. And I didn't want it to limit it to just to Dagestan, limit it just to Jujitsu. No, if I wanted to expand to something else after it can fit,
Okay.
And that goes back to the picture on the cliff. Remember?
Yes.
We were talking about the cliff?
Yes.
So I saw an eagle gliding. Like, it was my first time seeing an eagle in its natural habitat.
Yes.
Just gliding. I'm like, man, that looks nice. Like, Anjad, it's a nice scene.
Absolutely.
Okay. But it didn't click at that time. Then when I started brainstorming on the notebook again, I'm like, okay, what connects Dagestan? What makes Dagestan special? What does this? What does that? And, the word gliding somehow came up in there. And how does an eagle glide? Well, it has to rise.
So it can glide. Man, I love that. When you explain it that way, it's poetic, the name of your company. You got to rise to glide. I love it, man. That is cool.
Man, even in life.
Absolutely. You got to first get yourself up through that difficult climb in order to glide back down and enjoy it. Man, it's amazing how it's like right place, right time. You're in Dagestan. You're at that time. At that same you tried training Jujitsu and you came there, and at the same time Khabib started becoming a household name, and shoof, like how all the stars aligned, right? And the doors opened.
Yeah, some people might say it's a coincidence, but
I don't believe in coincidences.
Yeah, me neither. Like, I went through a lot because I was really praying to Allah, like, I really want something for me. Like, I want to build something for me that I love. I'm tired of working these jobs.
Yes.
Like, I've been an Uber driver for since 2014. I've been driving for Uber.
Okay. How's that experience?
It has its mixed experiences, but I live. Alhamdulillah, it pays the bills. It does its thing, but I'm tired. Like,
I get you.
I'm burnt out of it. I'm burnt out of working at factories and warehouses and these small places. Like, I want something for myself.
Yeah.
And my passion for traveling and passion for Dagestan and Jiu-Jitsu, and it just all at once just started clicking slowly.
Right.
It was such a nice feeling to see it at that time.
And Tahseen, there's so much love for you in Dagestan. The guys love you. Like, I see the videos, I saw the vlogs. Isn't it unbelievable? It feels like a parallel life, a parallel universe. You're in the States right now. It must feel a bit lonely compared to the life that you're having in Dagestan, isn't it?
It does. It feels very lonely, to be honest.
Yeah, because I see your videos and I'm happy for you. I'm watching them and it's wholesome to me. It's not cool, let's go, let's fight. To me, I'm watching and it's like wholesome content, seeing you surrounded by these guys, hugs, high fives, let's go, let's eat, let's train. And I think as well, there's a lot of people, Americans, Arabs, French people, Germans, that are getting into this martial art lifestyle that come from, I don't want to call it cold backgrounds, but some cultures are different than others. Some cultures are more reserved. A lot of people grow up in a culture where sometimes it's a bit formal between people. Then when they go into Jiu-Jitsu, why do they love it? It's not just let me armbar people and choke them out. It's that bond, man. It's that breaking that ice and becoming comfortable with spatial proximity, and then realizing that there's something in our DNA, there's something human about grappling.
Yeah.
It unlocks something in you that feels so fucking natural.
War.
Yeah, war, all of it. There's a natural sense of it too. But once they get that closeness, they start wanting more. And then seeing that culture in Dagestan and Russia, and why a lot of people, by the way, in Abu Dhabi and in the Arab world, why they like it is because we're a very warm culture. We are very huggy, lovey-dovey, kiss, and all that stuff. During these Corona times, this might not be the best idea. But on the flip side, in a normal world, Dagestan gives you that. You gotta earn it first, which is nice. People like to earn things; they don't like it to come easy. You gotta earn their trust, earn their respect. But once you get it, man, you get such warmth and love. You know, a shout out to all of the people in Dagestan, Chechnya, and Russia for that, because I know this is the special thing about them.
Definitely.
I hope so many people get to experience that through you.
Inshallah, man. I really want to, other than just the training aspect, I really want to show them the hospitality this place has to offer. Like, really come and see what it's unexperienced. No, not unexperienced.
Unexploited.
Unexploited. Yes, it's out of my mind right now.
I get
unseen you. Diamond, you know, it's
untapped.
Yeah,
yes,
untapped diamond, and it's not known, and so. But it does get lonely, man. Every time I come back, I'm like, man, I miss my friends, and it's a different lifestyle out there than it is.
I'm a client in Rise and Glide. Give me an imaginary trip. Walk me through. What do I do, first of all? Like, I'm a client. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to reach out to you on your website. What do I do? Yeah. So you go on our website, riseandglide.com. Okay.
And you go through our packages, and you see what, there are different dates, and you see what date works for you best. You send us an email, like, I'm interested in this package.
Okay.
And we will guide you through. Before you purchase the package, you need to get your Russian visa.
I get you. Okay. And how's that process? Is it difficult? Do you help with it?
No, it's very simple. And we've simplified it on our website, and it goes step by step. And you apply for that. Once you get your Russian visa is when you purchase a package with us, and then you purchase a ticket to fly out.
Okay.
And then once that day comes, you fly out to Moscow. We will physically be there to greet you.
In Moscow.
In Moscow.
Okay, what car are you driving? Is it a G-Class, baby?
G-Class, black.
Let's go, black wheels with a Kalashnikov in the back. Yes! That's what I wanted, bro. Okay.
That's what we have, man. Yeah, we have a whole line of them like that.
I like it. Okay, with an eagle on the front. Dude, this is what I imagine in Russia, man. Russian bass and rap music, and let's go.
They have that style, man. They have that like that.
Okay, so you pick them up from Moscow, and how far of a drive is it to Dagestan?
It's a 2.5 hour flight.
Flight.
So,
wait, so you fly to them and take them?
Yeah, so I meet them in Moscow.
Okay.
And then now, depending how they want to do it, they can either take a direct trip to Dagestan from wherever they're coming, but it's a connecting flight. So They have to wait in Moscow. Or they have the option, which is included in the package, that I meet them in Moscow. They spend one night there.
Okay.
And this package of the hotel and food, accommodation, transportation in Moscow is included.
Okay.
And we fly out together to Dagestan the next morning.
Yes.
And the adventures begin.
All right, so there's no adventures in Moscow itself?
No.
Okay, so it's just a transition for them to relax after a long flight and then continue the next day.
Exactly.
You get to Dagestan. Okay, I'm there with you, and we get into the G-Class with the Eagle and the Kalashnikov. Where do we go?
That was my impression when I went there for the first time. Like, where the dragons, man?
Where's the tiger?
So the morning of, we do, depending on what, if it's a Monday or a Tuesday, but we have morning training, CrossFit.
Nice.
We'll do our CrossFit training, really intense CrossFit training. After that, take showers, put on our clothes, head back to the hotel, throw our bags, then we go have breakfast.
So you're doing this fasted?
Well, we go with how the client goes. I'm pretty sure any human can't eat a full meal before
CrossFit, of course. CrossFit. But I mean, like, do you have like a nutrition plan in mind for people in this? Because like that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So typically, the food there is already healthy. Like, generally, the food there is healthy, and there's restaurants and buffets, healthy buffets on every corner. I have a few friends who do own these restaurants, and every day we go to a different one just to try out the food.
Very cool.
they want to eat super healthy and have like meal preps, we can offer that too. And if they want to eat like Dagestani culture food, we
Love
can
it.
offer that.
Love
Yeah,
it.
so we
Okay.
kind of really mitigate it to how our clients feel.
All right. So you got back, you have breakfast, and then what's next?
After that, we do one of our activities. Maybe it's archery, maybe it's horseback riding,
Woo.
maybe going to a museum of the architectural history of
Okay. Some
nearby
culture.
city. Yeah, some culture. We do an activity throughout the day, but we don't do it for too long because we need rest before the evening training.
Yes, you don't want to burn out.
Exactly. So depending on the client, we'll have an hour or two before that training. He goes rests a little bit. Evening training comes in. It's around 2 hours long.
Right.
And we finish that training. And then after that, we go have dinner, hang out a little bit, and explore the city. We can walk around or take them on a cruise in a car and just cruise around a bit.
How late do they stay up in Dagestan? Do they stay up late like Arabs?
Yeah, they stay up pretty late. Where we're located is the city center. Like, that's the downtown.
What is it called, the city center?
It's Makhachkala.
Makhachkala.
So that's the capital.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there's a street called 26, which is 26th Street.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's
26. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, all right, that's the first day. How many days do you plan this for usually? Like, what are the packages? How many days?
So we have two different types of packages. We have a 10-day package and we have a 14-day package.
Wow. So this is a proper camp.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you're going to buy a ticket and get a visa, you might as well spend
an
amount of time.
How many people do you recommend me to bring with?
As much as you want to bring, brother.
Right. But like to have a good experience. What's too little? What's too much?
We're capable of taking, 10 to 15 people at a time.
Whoa.
Yeah, at a time. But I think to have a good time, between 6 to 10 would be really,
That's
really
a lot. That I would have considered that a lot. Okay.
Yeah, 6 to 10 people. We have the capabilities of doing that.
That's perfect. Good on you guys, man. And how many tours have you done so far? How many packages? Because this is a very new company.
Yeah. We haven't done too much, honestly, because when we started to like do our marketing, like when I came back from Dagestan in December, I said, okay, now we can do full social media marketing. I have new flyers, I have everything. And then here comes the virus. So
I see. Okay, tell me something. You're a new business owner. You're an excited entrepreneur, a Jiu-Jitsu entrepreneur, and you get this fire situation. A lot of people had their own business and they've shifted online. Are you doing any initiative for Rise and Glide online?
I don't know how we can incorporate it online, but we are taking this time to update our website, to work on some new designs, to upload more videos on YouTube about the vlogs. So we do vlogs as well. So,
man, you know what I would jump on from Rise and Glide?
Tell me. Yeah.
Dagestani programs.
Dagestani
programs that I can incorporate in my daily life, in my home, whether it's food, training, the concept of mixing CrossFit, like the Dagestani workout. What do they work out with? Kettlebells, like just creating programs. I would jump on this stuff right now, honestly.
Okay.
Because man, you cannot deny that they're doing something that's working, and you cannot deny that we're at a time where they're in attention.
Yeah.
Khabib Nurmagomedov, Zabit Magomed Shapirov. It's in the spotlight right now. And you've got these people, and I noticed something that with Dagestan, they love their country so much. They love their culture, and they want to share it. They want people to discover it. So why not give them that outlet? And then I'm sure people will want to connect with that.
Yeah. You know what's funny is you say that is every time I come back, I start implementing the Dagestani training of what I learned there out here. The CrossFit or strength and conditioning. But when you're in one-man show, you kind of like, okay, you slack off a bit.
Sure.
But when you have a group of people, you can really, I feel you can really, exceed.
Yes, and you've got a lot of people there that'll be motivated and excited to get out there and to be active in the US as well. I'm sure.
True. So I might consider it. Yeah, thank you for the idea.
Absolutely, man. So you did one tour so far?
We did one tour.
And how did that go?
It was the best experience.
Where was he from, with this person?
He was from, originally he's from Pakistan, but he was born and raised out here in California.
Okay. So he just went alone, or he had friends with him?
He was going with another client of mine from London.
Okay.
This client had to back out maybe a week or two in advance.
Okay.
He He got in a car accident.
Ooh, I hope he's okay.
Alhamdulillah, he's okay. Yeah,
Okay, good. So your friend, this guy goes with you guys, and how is his excitement levels? Like, what's he feeling going through this?
Yeah. It was surreal for him because he wanted to experience some of the history of Dagestan and its mountains and its training, and he really enjoyed it. He gave me his honest feedback, and he's like, "Man, I want to do this again."
I love it. And Tahseen, you also got to meet a lot of people there. You've met Khabib, you've met Khabib's father, you've met Zabit as well.
Yeah.
And this is just, it's happening around you, or like planned? How did it work out?
You know the law of attraction we spoke about?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm really pursuing those things. Like I've met a few people that I haven't posted on social media, but it's because I'm after that. Like, I really want to connect with them. And, like the butterfly effect, I'm meeting one person, building a friendship with him, and he's trusting me. So when I'm around him, he's okay with me coming and hanging out with them.
Sure. And you're in the same world that they're in. It's not like you're going for pizza and then you meet the Jujitsu guy.
Yeah, like we can connect on the martial arts basis, and
100%.
if they lived in the US like Zeid or Khabib, so we kind of connect them.
Let's talk a little bit about these high-level fighters, if you may. How does it feel? What's their personality? What's their attitude? How did you feel? Was the interaction with them humble, boasty? Walk me through it.
We general public looks at these guys like idols and like this crazy.
Yes.
But I'm so sorry for that.
No worries.
But over there in Dagestan, they're just like buddies, hanging out and just chilling, having tea. Like they're not like those idols that are looked upon,
Yeah. They're the boy that grew up down the street.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, they do get respect, and that whole fan base exists.
Obviously, yeah.
But amongst like the people that know them, they're just another person. You're just my buddy from high school.
And Khabib is a multimillionaire now out of everything that's been happening. But what I get the feeling is he doesn't live necessarily like one. I don't feel it affected. I don't feel like it affected his lifestyle too much. Did it?
Financially, it affected him in a good way.
Obviously, yeah.
But mashallah, man, like I have to give it up to him and for the people around him. He's really he has a really strong mindset.
Okay.
Really sharp mindset. Like his goal is to become that champion and to secure the belt and to stay with it. And all these side things that have been thrown at him, they don't distract him.
I see. He doesn't let the money get to his head, and I feel like Dagestan is his protection. It's his bubble from the rest of the world. He goes back there and he escapes this media and chaos and cycle. Like almost they protect him there.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful to have that.
In the US, there's the level of privacy compared to Dagestan is very different.
Yes.
Over here, you can have paparazzis, you can have people holding cameras in your face, and legally you can't do anything just unless you just want to tell them get away. But if you touch them, you go to jail.
Sure.
But over here in Dagestan, they know that level of respect. Yeah, these kids come up to him, I want a picture, but these are his people.
Exactly.
But nobody really bothers him like the people over here do.
And I find that, man, an American MMA fighter that's American through and through and has nowhere else to call it his bubble, once they get famous, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because there's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to run to. There's almost a price to fame in the States.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. That's why they live in these big, gated communities, high security, Beverly Hills, Yeah.
Wow. Absolutely. That's something that you don't think of on first, but it makes perfect sense. Khabib doesn't need to have a mansion separating him from the city. It's not like he needs to escape them. But in the States, you need a mansion because the community around you can get crazy when you get famous there.
Get really crazy, man.
Yeah.
People get really crazy and invade your privacy, and they do it out of love, and they love you and everything, but it just it's too much, man. It's too much.
It's a cultural thing, I feel, because like you've lived in the UAE. Fame, okay, there's hype behind it, but it's not overboard. Like there's a certain level of karame, we call it, where it's like, I got my dignity too, man. But there's other cultures where fame, let's say fanhood, is a craft. You know what I mean? There's some cultures where being like Japan. When David Beckham went to Japan, there was an auction on every item in his hotel room. And the highest bid was the bathroom towel.
What?
The second highest bid was his pillow. So there's cultures behind crazy fan bases, you know? And US has a fan base like that. The Japanese culture trickled down to the US and that. And you see, man, Conor McGregor stays somewhere and they're selling every single piece of his items. Khabib has a scary fan base. When he walks out, I think Khabib's like shocked. He's like, damn, man. Like,
Yeah. It reminds me like when Britney Spears shaved her head like back in the day and she sold her hair.
I remember that. I remember that shit, dude. Absolutely. Wouldn't that be great if you could shave your hair and sell it, man?
Wallah, with whatever I have left, I would be happy to.
Listen, God blessed you with a beard to make up for it, man. That's a handsome beard. You got that going for you.
It's just this beard that makes me, you know.
One of the most freeing times in my life was when I just shaved my head. I had a beard, but I shaved my head and bro, Jiu-Jitsu all day, shower, go out. Like, khalas, the hair is not an issue anymore, man.
Yeah, it feels really good.
I love it. I love it, dude. Listen, man, I really appreciate you spending the time. I love hearing about your experiences. I hope to have you on this show more. Do you come down to the UAE?
I visited in yeah, I do actually. Yeah.
All right, so next time.
Yeah.
Your last visit was when?
For the Khabib fight with Poirier.
Okay, you came here for that.
Yeah.
I wish I knew, man. But next time you come down, we got to train together. We got to hang out.
Definitely, yeah, we'll make it happen.
So let everybody know where can they get in touch with you? Where can they get in touch with Rise and Glide? It's on the website for Rise and Glide.
Yeah, we have Instagram, Rise and Glide. That's RISE NGLIDE.
So Rise, letter N, then Glide. I'll post everything on Instagram. And just not to forget to mention, you have a beautiful gi that you've done.
A beautiful what?
Gi, a kimono.
Oh, gi. Oh, I didn't hear what you said.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
That is a nicely designed. You're a graphic designer. It makes perfect sense. But I think pairing and finding the manufacturer to get those designs in the inside of the gi. What is that design? Is it Dagestani?
Yeah. So the imprint from the inside of the gi is when we went to Habib's village of the Tsumadinsky district.
Oh.
And there was, when we were driving, there was this beautiful river and it had some waterfalls, you know, just small waterfalls from the mountains.
Right.
And we stopped and we started taking some videos and some pictures. And I stopped in the middle of the river. There were some rocks. I sat on a rock and I started taking some videos and pictures, and it looked amazing.
Wow.
And then the guy, the videographer I hired, he was taking a video of me doing this at the same time. And then I wanted to put something that's never been done before in a gi.
Right.
And it's specific to Dagestan that like nobody has thought about before, something really unique. And well, it was one of those pictures.
Beautiful, man. And I loved it. That's the first thing that caught my attention. It felt like I felt high up when I saw that gi, and I really like it. So next time you're coming to UAE, I'm gonna make you grab one on the way for me, bro.
Got it. You don't have to say that twice.
Habibi, I appreciate you, man. Do you have any future plans? Do you have anything coming up that people should watch out for?
We actually just released a YouTube vlog. We just released it last night. I just haven't advertised it yet.
Is it the Zabit one?
Yeah, Zabit.
Yeah, I watched it.
Oh, really? Oh,
yes, absolutely. Right away, man. I follow your content closely, man. I love the region and I'm excited. It will happen. Once this Corona thing is over, we're linking up and we're doing this. We're arranging a trip. Yeah, absolutely, man.
I'd love to have you. We can have a great time.
Yes.
And an unforgettable experience. God willing.
We will. And I hope many people listening will get inspired to go try out. And listen, a lot of people, the intimidation factor to them is quite high. And I just want to, if I could say something to you guys, it's, what do you have to lose? Right?
Yeah.
You don't like it, and that's just an experience that you went through in life and you learned from. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to harm you. But the chances are, the things that you avoid and you delay, you always experience them. You're like, man, I wish I did them sooner.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
so
don't postpone this one. If you're a martial artist, if you're a guy remotely interested in this lifestyle, don't postpone this till you're older. Do it now, because you're gonna need the youth to keep up with these guys.
You definitely, that's something for sure. And I would tell people, you know, invest in yourself and come out with us and really experience it. You know, this is an investment. Traveling is always an investment in yourself. Well said. Definitely an investment. And if you really want to see how the culture is and how people treat people and how the Dagestani people are, that's why I'm doing these vlogs, so people can feel a bit more comfortable of what's really going on and what's really happening out there. I'm so sorry. These people just don't want to stop.
No worries, man. No, I absolutely agree with you. The vlogs are the things that I watch to break the ice for me before that experience. So I always appreciate that from you. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate your time. I hope you guys had an enjoyable
Thank you for having me.
Podcast with Tahseen. Habibi, it's my pleasure. Totally. We'll do this many times again, I hope.
Inshallah.